Hi everyone, how's it going? It's I Quit My Band. My name's Nate.
I'm JJ.
I'm Evan.
We're back. We got some shenanigans going on over here. We got to contain ourselves, fellas.
We had a lot to catch up on.
Had a lot to catch on. Big weekend.
Me and Evan buried the hatchet.
You guys buried the hatchet.
Yeah, we're good.
It's good to be back. The three-piece, you know? The power trio.
Whoever the person was that recognized how shitty this chair is that I sit on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I figured out why you've been sitting in that chair is because whenever Noah came, we gave him the good chair, and same with Jake.
Yes.
And then you were like, "Oh, that chair is fine," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm too lazy to bring that chair."
Yeah, for sure. It's
anymore.
fine.
Yeah.
It's a wicker chair with metal shit on it, but in comparison, when you see it empty in between these two, it does look like I'm sitting on an outdoor chair.
Long story short,
we're
we're not giving JJ that chair back.
And if I was given the same treatment, if he was in this chair and I was in that chair, diva, dude.
I
It's like
did.
Mariah Carey
Every
level
fucking
shit.
episode will be like, I can't fucking believe we haven't switched out this chair yet. This fucking chair.
I would refuse to record.
Yeah.
I did get to sit in that chair.
That's true.
Pretty
How
nice
was it?
over there.
It's pretty
And
nice.
it's also nice to just stare over and not have
It's
to
easier.
go like this.
Yeah,
the
a little
eye
easier.
contact between me and JJ is a tough bit.
It's
at
tough
times
for
where
me
I'm
too.
like,
So I have to do this. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody realizes the struggle I go through on a
Yeah.
week-to-week basis, but I prevail.
None
You're a
of you
game
ever
day
sitting
player,
in-
dude.
I
No one's ever
I
sitting in
respect
my
it.
chair, dude.
And
This
we
chair's
got-
for me only. The
Yeah.
king's chair.
It's a big leather one.
The king's chair. Welcome back to the show. Thanks everyone for watching. Go watch the reviews we just did. Just as duos, we did one with me and JJ listening to King Giz and the Lizard Wiz, and then we just did one, me and Ev, of listening to
Falling in
popular
Reverse.
Popular
Yeah.
Monster falling in. I keep
I really
wanting to call it
liked it.
Ronald.
Yeah, we were listening to Ronald.
Ronald.
It's going to be nice to... I'm glad the boys are back together. And more
Yeah.
than anything, I'm just really happy to correct the white trash tailspin that
Yeah.
the show
Yeah.
has been in over the past few
Someone
weeks.
commented that was like, Hardy and now falling in reverse? Like, what are you doing to yourself?
Two people
yeah.
We're just like, guys,
Why?
what are we doing? This isn't what
Stop.
we're tuning in for. And the views have reflected
The views
that.
have been showing us
Trash
that maybe we
garbage.
should get back on track
Yeah.
a little bit.
It's nice to not have...
Hardy. Not as many people thought that was as funny as we did.
No,
And
it's hilarious, though.
Yeah, and then fucking Popular Monster. I mean, I think the Radke fans, they're on board. They're not getting swayed by anybody.
What do they need a review for? They know it's perfect.
They know it's the perfect album. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my battery thing.
It's nice to not have to fill all that space. The three of us really, makes it so that I can zone out for a little bit,
Yeah.
come back.
I can let you idiots fucking talk for a little bit and just be like, yeah.
Yeah,
What we
JJ
got
checks
next?
out and he's like, Nate's still talking about Drill Bit Taylor. Okay. I can come back
Still talking
in
about
5
how
minutes.
we watched Blade 1 this weekend.
Yeah.
And how it's better than Longlegs.
Yep.
It is.
Whoa.
You might be right.
It's
yeah.
better than Longlegs.
What a
Stephen
weird-
Dorff,
Yeah, I mean, enough said.
Donald Logue.
It's a weird two movies to compare.
I think they're pretty comparable.
I mean, one,
yeah,
Never mind.
one's about a vampire slayer with a katana. The other's now because I mean, Longlegs, you think it's gonna be a grounded serial killer movie,
No.
and then they start hitting you with Annabelle, the haunted
Yeah.
doll, dude.
Blade is a more grounded movie than Longlegs.
wow.
I mean, now
And I'll,
there's-
that's where we are.
that's my 2 cents.
that's a
and
new
that's
segment
my-
on the where you have a very bad opinion.
Here's
and
Nate's
you go,
2 cents.
Nate's 2 cents.
Blade is a better movie and a more realistic movie than Longlegs.
Can we make
And better
that
marketing.
Can we make that a recurring segment?
Yeah,
It could be
it's
about
my
anything.
2 cents, dude. We'll do like 5 an episode.
Yeah.
I'll have 5 of these an episode, just firing them off.
So it'd be
and they're like
Nate-
comparisons to shit.
Yeah,
People are like, I didn't.
I don't even know
think
how
to
you
compare
got there.
Blade to
Yeah.
Longlegs, but okay.
yeah.
Just my personal opinion. Just my 2 cents, dude.
Eventually, that's what the podcast will be called. It'll just be you.
It'd just be me sitting at a desk. I thought this Hardy album was actually pretty good this time.
I don't think Luke Wilson got a real shot of being a leading man. That's my 2
Luke
cents.
Wilson deserved to star in You Me and Dupree, not Owen.
and
that's
Captain
my-
America.
And Captain America. And that's my
God.
2 cents. But anyway, Go watch those reviews, but today we're doing a new review of the new Fontaines D.C. album called Romance. Finally, we're back to, being real human beings again. Listening to shit that is just good and stuff that we like.
Yeah.
And not just fishing for jokes.
Yeah,
exactly. We're not going to be fishing for jokes this
It was
episode.
fun.
It was fun.
It was fun, but there was like a relief to go back to the a Spotify page to play the album again, being like, oh, I actually do want to hear how this sounds again. There was a couple plays on that Hardy that I was like, okay, just one more. Maybe there's a bit there. Maybe there'll be a joke about white trash.
It's always the worst when something comes out while we have to listen to something that's terrible, and you have to be like, you can't now. You can't.
Here's the thing.
Just stay in the zone.
We don't have to do any of it.
You have 17 more songs to go. We have to do it. What are you talking about? It's our job. This is our job.
You're right.
How am I going to feed my family if we don't listen to Ronnie Radke?
And that's what we're trying to do, folks. That's the goal of the show. Feeding our families with Ronnie.
With Baja Blast.
But yeah, we're going to be listening to Fontaines D.C.'s new album, Romance, just came out this past Friday. Fontaines D.C. is a band that has been around for a couple albums now. I think they've had 3. This is maybe their third or
this is the
fourth. This is their fourth. They had Doggerel, A Hero's Death, and then Skinty Fia, and this is their fourth one. They're I've been really intrigued to listen to this album this year because they put out a lot of singles. They've announced it like a couple months ago. Fontaines D.C. was always a band for me that I was like always on the hinge of liking, but couldn't really ever get there, mainly because of the vocals. Not that they're bad. It's a cool style, but it's so dead on, no emotion, really the whole time, almost spoken word from the lead singer. I think his name is Brian Chatton, something like that. He just put out a solo record.
Mm-hmm.
But this new album seems like judging by the singles and just like the style of the band now, like just the way they look, they're going for this like real like 90s cybergoth type of thing going on, which is what I love.
Yeah, they almost look like the low rent version of the boy bands below them.
Yeah.
The ones that would wear like the FUBU stuff and like the like Y2K gear.
The fuzzy bucket hat. Yeah.
And it's like a big jump. Like they just looked like normal working class people in a band before that. And then for this album, I think Grian has like pink hair now.
Yeah.
And
they looked like Irish peasants before. Just like the brown shoes with just no
Dickensian
nothing.
Street urchins.
Yeah, now they're just like they're fucking hype beasted out. And I was really just excited to hear like what the hell it was going to be like, and then they released Starburster. We talked about Starburster. That had like kind of a trip hop thing going on in it a little bit, not like slow. Was that a trip
track
hop,
review that we did?
Yeah.
Okay.
They put out a few other singles too, which I liked. What's everyone else's? Have you guys listened to Fontaines D.C? Have you listened to Fontaines D.C?
No, I didn't know. I mean, I knew they existed, but I had not really dug in or listened to them at all. Period. Before this. But I've seen them like touted by a lot of artists that I follow as like ones that they enjoy, and they've been brought on the road by other bigger acts and things like that. So I'm like, this is definitely a group that's ascending, that has like a palpable amount of momentum behind it, and I really enjoy the aesthetic of like the album art and the single art and the things like that. And the Starburster song that I had heard before because of being on the playlist, I was intrigued, but unlike probably you two, I'm not basing it on what I'm thinking isn't based on anything that they've done before because I haven't dug into it. But yeah, that's kind of where I stand with Fontaines D.C.
Yeah, I became aware of them when we went to go see Idols back when
like 5 years ago.
Yeah, Joy came out, and I think that would have been on Doggerel.
It was Doggerel, yeah.
They opened for Idols.
They opened for Idols, and I thought they were cool. Like, they were a cool live band. I think we only caught, like, the back half of their set.
Like, not much of it.
So I went and checked it out. Liked Doggerel, but felt like it was very in line with that post-punk
Yeah.
like wave. Like kind of started for me with Preoccupations.
Yeah.
Where Viet Cong came out and you're like, oh, this is a really cool take on like updating 80s post-punk to this new sound, but nothing ever really broke out of that box. It was all kind of very similar. And Fontaines D.C. I would say is one of the better bands in that like ilk, but I always felt like they had great songs and good albums.
Yeah.
Like Big is a great song.
Boys in the Better Land.
Boys in the Better Land, Televised Mine. Skinty Fee is probably the closest that I would call like a pretty great album. I think it's a really good album, but like Jackie Down the Line is
such a great song.
Like head and shoulders above everything else on that. So when I heard the singles from this, I was really intrigued because it did feel like they were breaking out of that like very rigid kind of post-punk
clean guitars only, like barely any distortion, just kind of folksy almost in a way. It's interesting you talked about like those like fitting with post-punk with like Preoccupations. I always felt like they were more in line with like Iceage, a band like Iceage, but way less
darker, doomier.
Yeah, but maybe a little bit just less interesting than Iceage. I think Iceage was doing just a little bit like crazier stuff with the vocals. I mean, that I can't remember his name, but he had like a crazy voice. And they did some more experimental albums, but they were just so down the line, guitar, bass, vocals, just so like by the book. And that's why I always thought they were like the most uninteresting of all of them. Even though I enjoyed the songs, I was like, I'd much rather listen to like Black Country New Road or Iceage or Preoccupations or even like Black Midi or
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah,
except for the Creeper, dude.
Yeah, the Creeper's out there.
Coming out.
It's funny to hear that they like stopped because at least it sounds like one of the reasons they stopped is because their fans are so annoying.
Yeah, that's awesome. Literally something it sounds like they're citing. This is a dumb question. Where are they from? Are they from?
I think they're from Ireland.
Yeah. Okay, the D.C. thing confused me.
They're from Washington, D.C.
Well, I hear accents in their voice, and I'm like, these guys are not from D.C.
No, they're very Irish.
Because like sometimes bands that have like the same band as others, they'll be like, something UK or whatever.
Bones UK.
UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're like straight
they're
out of
deeply Irish,
cool.
Yeah.
That makes
they're like
a lot of
Sinead
sense.
O'Connor Irish.
Oh, wow.
I want to talk about the famine. Yeah.
Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just pumped to get in this record. I've liked all the singles, and I've just been hoping that I can like get into Fontaines with this new album. And
you'll find out.
We'll find out. Let's just dive in. What do you say, fellas?
Let's go.
It's like quit my band. It's romance.
So back.
We're so back. Here we go. This is the first track, Romance.
I really like this opening track.
Me too.
Lot.
Me too.
It like for me, I really like doomier, spacier, heavier stuff. So when I heard this, it definitely felt like it was like leading to something.
Yeah.
And there's these huge hits in it, that creepy like school toy machine xylophone thing. This is right up my alley. I will say, and this isn't a dig. The rest of the album doesn't really reflect this kind of cinematic, like movie trailer type of shit in the rest of it. But what a badass and menacing way to start an album.
I agree. I mean, it's so different than what I expected from them. That like creepy bass tone and guitar tone, and then that like you said, like the I don't know what that is. Maybe it's like a wind up,
could be
the horse going around the the carousel. I don't know. Reminds me, just by the vocals. Like I talked about his vocals before being very like plain and almost spoken word. Here he sounds almost identical to Tom York.
I was gonna say,
and it's so Radiohead, and I'm just like. Never been the biggest Radiohead fan, but when Radiohead does stuff like this, like something like I don't know, a song like All I Need or something like that off of In Rainbows, this is what that reminded me of, and I fucking love that song, and it makes me think of that song, and I'm just like drawing this connection of like this is a Radiohead influenced song, and I love it.
Big time. And I think somebody else does sing on this record too. And I don't know. I don't know if it's all Grianne. But I would agree. Like immediately, it breaks us out of the box that I've come to think of like a Fontaines D.C. song, and that's so sick.
It's insane.
So dark.
And I think that the rest of the album does have a cinematic quality, but not like a dark cinematic.
Yeah, not
quality.
like this.
Like there's a lot of stuff that's very lush.
Yeah.
But like it gets into like happier, prettier moments.
Yeah, I mean it sets it up to be like this dark album, but yeah, there's so many like happy-go-lucky, like The Cure, like Friday I'm in Love moments, and some rockers as well down the line. Let's just get it. I mean, it's starting.
Very cool opener.
Yeah,
great opener.
There's Starburster. We're getting into it.
I mean, I think this is my song of the year.
One of mine too.
Yeah, I don't know if like. It might not even be close. I fucking love this song.
The
love it.
The inhale.
I do.
The inhale thing that he does.
Yeah,
is
that's
like,
so sick.
Blows my mind because I'm just thinking of it like, how do you not like gag yourself?
Yeah.
Literally.
I love the drums. I love the kind of trip hop vibe. They kind of flirted with this sound off the title track of Skinty Fia, but he does a much more like typical post punk delivery.
Yeah.
Whereas like he does. Kind of raps.
Yeah, so it could be called rapping.
But it doesn't, like, give away to the corniness of what a white Irish guy could be doing. You still feel like you're, like, talking to, like, a Dickensian streeter.
Yeah.
Like, you're being yelled at by a guy on the street.
Yeah.
Like a Skyrim NPC.
Yes.
Yeah, like someone from Banshees of Inisherin, except the 90s.
Who's got bars.
Yeah, he's got the Colin Farrell's
I like the James Bond guitar that's going on the whole time.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I love the way the drums sound. I just love this tempo, too, and then just... Yeah, this is so fucking bratty hip-hop.
But not like in an annoying way.
No, it's not fucking... It's not Jack White, Ice Station Zebra.
No.
You know, it's very...
God forbid.
It's very tasteful. And the fucking... The production, everything they add in here, like, all plays with each other so well. Like that... Whatever that like string is.
I bet you those are like those shitty strings that are keyboard that they used to use in like the 70s.
Yeah.
Like Strawberry Fields.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Cat knows what
Strawberry
it's called.
Fields.
I don't remember what the instrument's called.
And then that ending part with the
like real pretty
the strings, it
and
just
like
changes into a different song.
Yeah. No, I think it's a great song, and they on this album you can tell that they're starting to pull influences more from like 90s alternative rock. Yeah. And, I mean, I love that shit to begin with.
Too.
But the way that they're doing it is very cool. And the production, I forget the dude's name. I think it's James Ford. Yeah, is the guy handling production on this. He's done, like, Arctic Monkeys, Depeche Mode. I think he did another big album that we even covered. But you can tell that this is, like, a big step up, even on the first two songs, and how these songs are put together and how they sound.
Now that you mention Arctic Monkeys, this does give me like Humbug vibes, even though that was Josh Homme that did the production.
I think he worked with James Ford, like it was possibly, like a Coke production.
Because I am getting like those darker. It's not as dark, but the same style of like spooky, haunted production on that album. I'm kind of like hearing as well here. But yeah, this is one of the band. This is one of their best songs for sure.
If they're still a band in 20 years, they're going to be like ending sets with this.
Yeah.
I feel.
Oh yeah. If not already. Let's move on. Here's another single that came out called "Here's the Thing."
More of an upbeat, like straight rocker.
I liked this one a lot. The first time I heard this, I was like, "Fuck." I wasn't like that interested in the album until I heard this one. I was like, "Oh fuck yeah!" Like we're going with the bangers. Like, we're still pedal to the metal here. And
starting with the chorus.
Yeah, starting
Always
off with the
sick
chorus.
move.
Yeah.
And I love that guitar.
Yeah.
Like that, like super fuzzed out guitar.
Yeah.
And I love in the, like you said, starting off with the chorus and then the verses get like much quieter. And I love the fucking melody.
And the bass has like a chorus effect on it or something. That's very on brand for the vibe that they're trying to go for.
The breathy.
They're also doing the breathing here too. Yeah.
I don't know what it is about the breathy thing that reminds me so much of like 90s goth. But
I feel like it was just a thing that was in a lot of that music.
Maybe, yeah, I'm not sure.
Reminds me of that part of Day in a Life where he's going to work.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That's supposed to be like. That's Paul McCartney's way of saying he's working hard. This is what people do at work.
Yeah, what did normal
people do?
They snort like a
They
pig
snort
at work.
because they're fat.
They're fat pigs.
And they can't walk to
aw-
work.
Such collectively an awful Beatles
Awful.
impression.
Yeah, no, not good.
I did look it up. James Ford also did 3D Country by Geese.
Oh, okay.
So he's working with like cool rock bands
Great
that seem to
record.
like break out. That want to break out of their sound and try something different. And it's interesting too because I would have put Geese kind of in that post-punk thing where it's like, this is really good.
I love that line.
If
I don't know
these
the
two-
way he delivers that.
That almost reminds me a little of like Morrissey, and I get little Smith like
a little bit,
whiffs on this.
Yeah.
And
Sorry
give
to
me a
interrupt you,
Smith whiff, I'm in.
Give me a Smith whiff.
Dude, I love it.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you there. I just had to fucking turn that up because I love that part.
It's so good.
If Geese and this band toured together,
That'd be a
came
hell of a
over.
show. And I could see it happening.
yeah.
Let's move on. Here's Desire. I need a minute to remember this.
Yeah. No, I felt like I would have preferred this as an album closer, I think, because the favorite closes the album, and I think favorite would fit really nice right here.
I thought the same thing. I don't know why they closed with Favorite. It's
Yeah.
such a it was a single.
Yeah, and it's a great song.
Yeah. But yeah, I love this like haunted melody. I love the way what he's doing with his vocal. Just again, such a nice like breath of fresh air from what he's been doing before. Like this falsetto.
Nice weird guitar
Yeah.
that comes in like it's like a
Yeah.
little off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a slow burn, but it's I don't know. It's gothic, reminds me of like again, end of a 90s drama. I love that. That's right up my alley.
Yeah,
you guys
like
know that.
Kiss
about me.
the Girls
Kiss the
or
girl.
something.
Yeah. Vanilla
Sparks
Sky.
fly.
Something like that.
I think I do like this song. There's a part where like the drums start building up.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted a release like we get it a little bit here.
Yeah.
But I just felt like there was a little more juice to like really pull out of this.
Yeah, there probably could have been. I like the way the guitars sound on here. I mean, I think going from Romance, Starburster, Here's the Thing, they kind of deserve a little bit of a,
Yeah, I mean,
chill out.
Yeah.
if it's like, peaks and valleys, and not a valley in quality, but in like pacing, it makes sense where it is.
Yeah.
This song kind of reminds me of, not the vocals, obviously, but you guys know the band Wolf Alice?
Yeah.
I mean, they're also from, like, the UK, Ireland, wherever, but production-wise, instrumentally, it kind of reminds me of something that they would do, which is a compliment, I would say.
I want to hear the song in the new Crow movie,
I hear that's a real piece of dog
I
shit.
heard that was too.
And just I mean his growth as a vocalist
Yeah, it's
on
crazy.
this stuff is wild.
Yeah, I think my favorite part of the song is the melody, and I don't think I would ever think to ever say that about a Fontaines D.C. song, because it was always just like, bah, bah, bah,
Yeah, it was like deadbeat poetry, you know.
yeah. We want to move on.
Sure.
Oh,
This is In the Modern World.
this is the one that really reminds me of Billy Corrigan vocal delivery-wise.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah,
Well,
hell yeah.
it's more prevalent during the chorus.
Yeah.
But like it could be obviously not like a 90s like golden era Pumpkins, but like a more modern Pumpkins song.
In the Modern World.
Yeah. I really like this song.
It was released as a single. First
a
time I
grower.
heard it, I was like, I don't love this, but I think it's the song I know the best on this album. Like,
Well, it's sticky.
it's very sticky. I could fucking sing this to you. I probably know all the world. Yeah. In the modern world. Yeah, now I'm gonna sing it like Billy Corgan.
I love this like
Talk
call
to
and
you.
response.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. There is part of this that kind of reminds me of Lana Del Rey.
Ooh.
Oh,
you know,
nice pull.
like so cinematic, like almost
especially right here.
The strings, dude.
That's very Lana.
Yeah.
Good
Which I don't hate.
No, that's cool.
If you're a rock band and you're gonna make a poppier sounding song modern, there are worse people to rip off than Lana Del Rey.
Yeah. Katy Perry.
JoJo
Yes.
Siwa.
This isn't a Katy Perry situation.
Woman's world.
Saying JoJo Siwa.
JoJo. Yeah, it's not Katy Perry.
I invented gay pop.
It's this new thing I invented.
We were really inspired by Slut Pop Miami, actually.
We listen to a lot of JoJo Siwa's earlier stuff.
We listened to the song. I don't know if you've heard it. You think you're the shit. Fart. I couldn't even say it. Parentheses.
Think
fart.
you the shit fart. I can't do an Irish accent.
Think you the shit fart.
Fart.
I had it for a second,
Fart.
but if I knew if I went back, I'd be fucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like this, and it's just the production is crazy.
It's great.
That this was the band that made Doggerel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So raw.
Yes.
Yeah. Like just bare bones guitar, bass, vocals, drums, nothing special whatsoever about it. Which made it great.
Yeah.
And made it such a cool record, like in just a fucking rock band without like that. Like he was a really cool lead singer because he was charismatic without really doing it in his vocal at all. Like he was really loved as a vocalist enough to make his own solo album. But yeah, he wasn't flashy whatsoever.
I would say the flashy version. Sorry to interrupt. The flashy version of him is a dude that sings in Geese.
Maybe. I mean, Geese's vocalist is maybe too flashy.
That guy. Well, that's like the opposite end of the spectrum.
But he's not doing too much here.
No.
He's just like he's stepping it up by like 2 notches, and it's great.
Yeah, and it's like he's showing like a vulnerability that you don't hear in a lot of post-punk like type vocalists.
Yeah.
Like, and especially the stuff that they used to do, where it was like very disaffected on, like that's the point of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's so far we got some heaters.
We're off to a great start.
There's
here.
kind of this sounds like an insult because of what they've done recently, but there's an inherent Coldplay-ness to this in like a spacey, like atmospheric, large sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think they're probably like getting that from like Coldplay. It was like Radiohead, Blur, and then like Coldplay took like the big
They took it.
elements.
Yeah. They took it to the mainstream.
The lame.
Yeah. So like, I'm hoping that we're hearing the cooler,
That's what I meant.
Blur, Oasis, Radiohead type stuff.
Yes.
Let's move on to the next one. Bug. They kind of crank it back up a little bit here. It kind of. This one reminds me more of their older stuff.
100%.
They're going right back to it, but still a good ass song.
Yeah, and it's already got like a catchier melody
Yeah.
than you would hear on some of their older stuff.
It reminded me a lot of that band we've been listening to, Wonder Horse. They're kind of like simple chord progressions that are just like straight up guitar and really not deviating away from like 3 chords, but making it good and exciting the whole time. Yeah, I liked it. It kind of, I guess, is a little bit of a nail in the road with it sounding so different from the rest of the record, but it's not like an outlier or anything.
No, and I think on like a song like this, I wish I would hear a little more of like their old aggression.
Yeah.
Like I feel like just a little more bite would pick this up a bit more. Like there's a song on the back half where they really dig in and it's more aggressive, and I'm like, hell yeah, that's the type of stuff I want. This is a really good song. I think it's really catchy, but it's definitely not as adventurous as the stuff that we've heard before this, and it does kind of feel similar to, like, I think this could be on Skinty Fia.
Yeah,
and you would be like, oh, okay.
They were abound in a string of A minus, A pluses to get a B or a B minus in there.
Yeah.
We'll take a B.
They're due.
Yeah. Even C's get degrees, baby.
Yeah. I do
GPA.
like this melody a lot.
Yeah. I think the thing about this song is this melody it's the same thing the entire
every time you come back to the verse.
Which is what he used to do a lot. So it just, it's good. I do like it. It's catchy. Let's move on to the next one. Motorcycle Boy. I think this is my favorite off the album.
It's
like,
really cool. This reminds me a lot of Pumpkins.
Yeah.
And I like whatever that like.
That's so neat. This one feels really, I don't know, just so spacious, so like haunting and out there, and feels like, I don't know, feels like faded away almost. Like it just feels like you're looking
washed
at
out
something through a window.
It's almost like shoegazy,
It's a little bit shoegazy, but like the thing that does it for me is like it's definitely not supposed to be like a catchy song, but I just like the repetition of Motorcycle Boy towards the end. It gets me, dude.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, and it's the production's very cool. Like, you know, you could hear a clean guitar here, but the acoustic gives it like a nice texture. That thing is still going. And it will
the oscillating like vocal sample or something.
And it adds like just like a strange tension to the rest of the song.
Yeah, it's not annoying in any way.
Yeah.
If it was up a few more dBs, it would be annoying, but it's quiet enough.
I like this build.
Yeah, and the drums sound awesome in this song.
That reminds me of something too. That
sounds.
Those
chords,
I don't know what that song is, but maybe it is a little Coldplay-ish. I don't know.
I mean, that sounds
now that
so
you say
lame
Coldplay,
to say.
now I'm just like, this is a Coldplay.
I shouldn't have said it, because Coldplay sucks. But
Yeah,
like,
Dude, old Coldplay was pretty
that's what I'm
good.
saying. Like,
The Scientist?
The Scientist is a fucking
Banger.
I'll stand by Viva La Vida. That song's good.
Nah. Get out of
Wait,
here.
how does that one go? I think that's the one I'm thinking
I
about with
used
these
to
two.
rule the world.
But
song
that was
sucks.
when I ruled the world.
That wouldn't be the because Idols did the video of
Yellow.
Yellow. Yeah,
Also a banger.
everybody's just ripping off Coldplay now.
Yeah.
They've
It's the
reached
year
that
of
point.
Coldplay, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like these drums, like that, like weird, like slapback or whatever on the snare.
Yeah. I just want to get to the Motorcycle Boy part. I want to be fucking Motorcycle Boy.
You should be a
I just wanna-
Motorcycle Boy.
It's fucking, it's riding off.
Get on a hog.
Yeah, it's riding off on a motorcycle with the leather jacket on, smoking the cig, and people just waving goodbye. That's what this song is.
You're
like,
you
like-
ain't coming back, dude.
You're driving away and
Had
it's
to leave
way
town.
too loud.
Lost.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah,
That's
we're
what
gonna have
that
to
sounds
turn that
like.
down.
Yeah, that's gonna.
That's
love
what that sounds
Yeah,
like.
they
just
know you're not
beep
coming
that
back
out.
because you're about to lay it down on 28 bad, dude. First time you go to try to open it up, that ass end's going this way.
Can we just beep out that noise so it sounded like JJ just said the worst?
It's a horrible word.
But yeah,
That's what a motorcycle sounds like.
yeah, that's Motorcycle Boy. Let's move on to Sundowner.
I gotta remember what this one is, TBH.
Yeah, this one's a little bit. This one's also another slow burn.
Yeah, I think the production on this song is very cool.
Yeah, this one is the shoegazy. Well, probably the shoegaziest.
The
one.
most shoegazy,
Yeah.
yeah. It's very washed out. But I think the song at the core of it is probably the least strong.
Yeah, probably. I mean, this is more of just like a vibe. It's like strikes me as more of an interlude than anything.
Very vibe. Like
Yeah.
if this was like a minute and a half and then it kind of
Yeah.
like went out, I
This-
may like it a little more.
This is like the scene in like the teenage drama where the kid like tries like some kind of drug for the first
Yeah,
time
I
and
can
it's
see
like
that. Yeah,
floating,
he's laying on the
dude.
couch. His mom's texting him.
Yeah.
He just smoked
Get
K2 that he got at like a gas station.
Smoked his first cig.
Yeah, dude. We just got 10x salvia from Kogo's, dude.
Put in this Zin pouch.
Yeah,
This is what I hear every time I put it in. I'm just like,
in my dream.
at work.
that's why I call you in like a cold sweat.
Yeah.
What did I say last night on the pod? I was so fucked up on
We gotta
Zen.
delete that one, dude.
I was so zinned out, dude.
In my dream.
I watched back the episode and I'm just
It's
like,
like
I had like 4 in there, dude.
had a stadium in last night, dude. Stadium of Zins. Do you guys
Stadium.
remember that?
What is that?
It was that never was a term. It was
No.
when people
Oh,
put
yeah.
in pouches in their two in their upper lip and two in their
that,
bottom.
that was an upper decky.
Oh, some people used to call it stadium.
I got a stadium.
I got a
dude.
stadium.
Sold out.
But yeah, I like this song. I mean,
Yeah.
it's vibey, but it reminds me a bit of like vaporwave, like an interlude that would be on like a George Clanton album or something.
Yeah,
like that.
especially like with the drums.
Yeah, like Slide or something.
Yeah,
like something more dramatic.
It fits pretty nice.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Let's move on. This is Horseness is the Whatness.
Cool.
Which I think this is my least favorite.
I would agree. I think it's the only one that I feel like it's leaning on the production like a crutch.
Yeah.
You know, where like maybe the ideas for the song weren't quite there.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of very interesting sounds, but, you know, it's the one that, if there's a skip on the record, it's probably this one.
I feel that too. I mean, it's the I think it's the shortest song. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but it feels like it just goes by in a breeze. Has like a weird like I want to say circus-ish quality to it, but I don't know if that's the right word. Just more like goofy, I guess.
It just feels like an old movie or
yeah,
something.
old movie.
I kind of dig it on the latter half maybe more than Sundowner, just because it seems very tender.
Tender's a good word. Yeah.
And there is stuff that's in your face on this, but like excluding the first song, it's not like you're not getting attacked too much, but also you're not getting like the lightest of the light either.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I like about this song in comparison to the others.
No, I can see that. Like, I think that's one of the things I like about the record too. Is like sometimes when we get these really lushly produced record, it's like the band disappears.
Yeah.
Beneath,
You can't
like,
find them.
But it never feels like that on this record. Even on the last two songs, which are a bit more like vibey, spacey.
Yeah.
And actually, hearing this again, I do like this melody here.
I really like the lyrics in this one, but I think it just mainly feels unfinished. If that's really it. Like, it's got some good sound, it's got a good melody, but it feels like it just doesn't build itself as a full song. Like, I don't know what there's not really a chorus or
like
really
a payoff.
Yeah, there's not really a payoff.
That's true.
But yeah, the guitar line for some reason reminds me of like if it was. Maybe I wouldn't like it if it was put in like a verse chorus structure, because that guitar line for some reason reminds me of like New Kings of Leon, and it just puts that like disappointed, you know, that ticker is just like.
It goes back to that follow will trauma.
Yeah, the trauma.
The boys are in the room.
The Fontaines heads are like kicking themselves.
Yeah,
like these
"Fuck
morons
this guy."
are citing Coldplay and KOL. What the fuck?
This is what Hardy and Falling in Reverse
Yeah,
has done
I
to
know.
us, by
We're
the way.
broken.
We're just like, my point of references are Kings of Leon, Imagine Dragons.
Yeah, their new album reminded me a lot of Iceage and KOL.
It's kind of a mix between that.
We are brain dead.
Yeah. Let's move on. Death Kink.
This song rules.
Yeah, this is a good song.
I wish this was the closer. I wish this went for like 6 minutes, and it just kept getting huger and more aggressive. It's such a good song, and his vocal delivery is awesome in it. It ends a bit early, but I think it's just selfish. I just wish it would go, you know?
God damn, when that guitar comes in, man.
Yeah.
Like, this sounds like them, like an older version of them pushed to like the absolute max.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know?
It doesn't have all the shoegazy, haunting, you know, ghostly production on it. It's just a fucking good-ass rock song, and I love that melody has that like repetition of whatever I'm not even sure what he's saying.
This song,
Cake batter.
You know how like when you're listening to an album on
Cake.
Spotify, when it's finished, it'll play stuff similar
Yeah.
or older stuff from the artist. I had thought the album was finished because like the opening guitar just doesn't remind me of anything else that I've heard.
Yeah.
But it's still a part of it. That's not a bad thing, but I think where it is in the order might be a little weird, coming out of like multiple kind of spacey vibe sessions, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, peaks and valleys.
I fucking love this lead guitar.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Where it like follows the melody, but it like fucks it up like a little bit.
Yeah. Almost like the Smells Like Teen Spirit guitar solo.
Kind of atonal a little bit. What is he saying?
I'm not sure.
Shit batter?
Shit batter.
Hell yeah. Dude.
Shit batter.
Talking about
I mean,
the
we could
Pirates
probably-
lineup, dude.
You could
Shit
probably
batter.
look
No, but I agree with you in the like sequencing on this record does at times feel a little strange.
It's a little mismatched.
Like to have this like right before the closer is a little different.
Yeah. I just think it should be the closer. Like I feel like they should have just made it more epic because it's an epic sounding song, but it's like 2.5 minutes. I would have listened to this for easily 5.5. And
I mean, it does kick ass.
It kicks ass. Yeah. Let's move on to the last song, Favorite, which I love this song.
Same.
It's just so. It reminds me so much of The Cure. Friday I'm in Love, Just Like Heaven. Yeah, it's just a feel-good tune. It's a coming of age.
This is their. I mean, their commercial like approachable hit.
Yeah,
big time.
I didn't want to drag it through the mud and call it car commercial because it's not that, but I could see it being used for advertisements.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it like because is this the one that they released last?
No, it's third to last.
Third to last. Okay. Yeah, I get another Smith's whiff.
It's Smith's for sure. Yeah.
We got a Smith's whiff.
Smith whiff. Yeah.
Definitely Cure that like that like poppier era of post punk that I love. And the melody is so good. It kind of takes what he does well in that disaffected post punk, but gives it like a heart, which is not easy to do.
Yeah, it's like so sweet, in the midst of this like very gloomy album, but still seems like it fits. Maybe that's why they wanted to close with it, just to kind of give it more of like a
ending on a bright
note.
Man, his voice kind of sounds like Mick Jagger a little bit at times.
I could see that.
I could kind of see that.
Yeah, like tonally for sure.
Tonally.
Yeah.
Not mean
like the way it like
stylistically,
sits in the mix.
Yeah. What? Like that kind of stuff.
I think my only criticism of the song is that it does sound so much like something that you might have heard before. Like they're not reinventing the wheel on this song at all, and I think they did cooler stuff on this album by being more original. But I love listening to this. It's like I'll never like skip this one.
No,
that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, and I like this. Whoa. I think this is the other person that I was talking about that sings on the record. I don't know what they
Someone
play
else
in the
band. Yeah.
Cool. I just want to vibe out. Can we just vibe out of it? Oh yeah, dude. I just want to put my hand up. I just go at like a convertible.
Yeah. Judd Nelson style.
Judd Nelson, dude. Yeah. That's the whole record.
That's it.
If we don't have any more thoughts, let's go into CA's closing arguments.
CA's, dude. It's CA's.
Who's going first?
Ev, you got it.
All right. Yeah, so I kind of summed up where I was with the band before that. I thought that they were capable of writing great songs, but had only made good albums, with Skinty Fia being probably the closest to being a pretty great album. I think this is a great album. I think, like, front to back, it's the type of step forward for a band that I feel like we rarely get anymore, where it, like, really lands not only somewhere new and interesting, but sure-footed with the songwriting and the vibes. A lot of times we get bands that take, like, this huge step forward in production and sound, and, like, they forget to write any, like, compelling songs. And I think that, like, Fontaines was able to do basically, like, stick the landing. Like, I think this is some of their best songwriting ever. Some of the most interesting sounds they've ever put to record, like something like Starburster, something like this, Favorite. Like, I would have never expected Fontaines D.C. to be able to write a song like this. Yeah. Like, just a total, like, sweet, nice earworm. Yeah. Like, not on my bingo card for a Fontaines album. The more vibey songs, I'm probably not going to return to, but, like, they work on the album as a whole. Yeah. Like, that's another thing that I found impressive about the record. In, like, Doggerel and Skinty Fia feel cohesive, but it's because almost every song has the exact same elements. Yeah. It's tougher to have a more cohesive feeling when you are trying so many different things, and I felt like this album did a pretty good job of that. Like, it has kind of this bittersweet, somewhat depressing vibe on the whole thing. Yeah, I really liked it. I think I'm gonna go 8.3 on this.
All right,
Nice.
Pretty high score.
Nice.
Who's going next?
You got it.
Want me to go next?
Yeah, I'll bring it home.
Yeah, so I felt pretty much exactly the same as you. I mean, I didn't know what to expect from them. They haven't been, they've been a band that I've been listening to for the past couple years, but never really favoring. I'm always just like, yeah, they're good, But yeah, I mean, I really like this a lot, and I liked the vibier stuff more than I thought. Like, I feel like I'm going to end up coming back to the vibier stuff more than even the singles. Like, Starburster and then like Bug and Here's the Thing. Like, yeah, they're different, but I really like what they did with just the experimentation with the production. Like, this song, like Romance, is just so neat and just sets such a weird mood. But then I also really like the singles as well. I really don't have that much negative to say about it, other than it's just like, it's not the banger fest I was expecting. Even though I like the vibey stuff a lot, I feel like they maybe did it a little bit too much. I would have liked more of a fucking, more speed, I guess, more intensity. But yeah, I mean, I just think it's like such a huge step up for them, and going in this like weird like 90s cybergoth direction. They didn't really do that. I mean, no. they faked that pretty hard. I feel like that was just basically for Starburster, and even then it's a stretch. They didn't really do that. I'm kind of glad they didn't do that. Like, I think if they would have done that, it would have been what you said before, where it's like some bands just really overstep going in a new direction. So it still sounds like them, and it still sounds like them just going like, just, 5 steps ahead rather than 10 to 15. I'm just interested in what they're going to do next. I was thinking like an 8-1 for this.
Cool. Yeah, having not experienced the band prior, really, just knowing them by name, I didn't really have any preconceived notions, but I definitely did not expect, if looking back on the year, to probably put this in like my top 5 or 10 of the year. Like, I didn't expect that, and I really do. Some of the vibier songs, I think, slow it down for me, but when you hit play at the beginning of the record, they're enjoyable in the context of it, so I wouldn't call that a negative. Will I pick out any of them individually to listen to? No. But this is an incredibly dynamic group of songs, and a lot of different directions are taken by just like what was previously known as just like a post-rock band. So I think that's very brave, and to go off of the point of what you guys said, it's interesting for them to just like take a very tasteful step forward as opposed to an aggressive step forward, which is cool. So I appreciate all of this. I really enjoyed it. I have no but to add to the end of that. I really liked it. I've listened to it many times and will continue to. I'm gonna call it an 8.1 as well.
All right,
stick with you.
I love this.
Yeah,
we're finally. It's an 8-1. It's an 8-1-2.
8-1.5.
It's an 8-1.5. I think that's a stunning and brave 8-1.5.
That's a stunning and brave hell yeah.
That's a stunning and brave hell yeah.
Yeah, that's it. There we go.
Sorry, I forgot our scale there for a second. Stunning and brave hell yeah.
Don't undermine
I can't
the
wait
scale,
for the
Nate.
stunning and brave dog shit. I can't wait to see what album.
It's coming, dude.
Yeah.
Hardy could have been a stunning and brave dog shit.
It was. I mean, if we could go back and
I
rewrite
feel like
history.
we probably put the training wheels on that review a little bit for our guy.
Yeah, we could have buried it more. Well, you guys could have. I kind of really...
You came out with the double barrel.
Yeah. I just started to feel bad at the end. I was
Me
like,
too.
God.
Once we hit that back half, I was like, oh, jeez.
This kid from college that I interacted with like 5 times, he follows me on Instagram. I reposted the Hardy review. He's like, he said, "Why you know like Hardy, sad face."
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm so sorry.
I never responded to him. I'm like, sorry, brother.
And there was like one comment on it that was just like, you clearly don't understand Hardy because he's awesome. I'm like, I don't know what there's to get about
the album.
Jim Bob.
You didn't really get it.
There's no depth.
Yeah, dude,
Do your research.
I just thought about one of my wife's cousins just like jamming to it, and I was just like, they're good guys.
Yeah, exactly. These guys need music too.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, it's not all for me, dude.
Yeah, imagine being stuck in a Ford F-150 and hitting Sundowner with that guy, and you'd be like, what the fuck is this?
Get out of my car. It's like, oh, I got a better one. Favorite? And it's like, yeah, I would get my ass kicked.
Yeah.
8.1.
Fontaines D.C. Yeah, 8.1. A stunning and brave hell yeah from Fontaines. Really repping it this year. Coming back hard.
We've had some good music come out this year.
Really have. Yeah.
I wasn't that stoked on last year's chunk of music, but
No,
Jack
wasn't
White,
great.
St. Vincent, Fontaines, probably more than I'm forgetting. We're in August, and there's been some good stuff.
Even Gambino
Gambino
charmed us a little bit.
Yeah. Either we've gotten soft.
We may have gone.
I don't
We even
think
gave
so.
King Giz a good review. I mean, that was largely on me.
I was out to lunch, so
It's a good album.
We
good.
weren't talking.
What were
at
the
that
scores?
It was
like in the sevens.
I said like 7. I think we gave it like a 7.5 or something like that. But I think I gave it like a 7.8, and you gave it like a 6.9 or something.
6.8 or something.
Yeah.
But I love it, dude. I'd like it's refreshing.
It is
to listen
refreshing.
to a good album,
Yeah.
and then come here and talk about it.
I was pleased to put it on multiple times in prep for this.
I really surprised myself this time because usually my biggest thing that I say every time we review a record, I'm just like, it's so boring. And I'm not going to come back to these boring songs. But these songs that are boring, for some reason, just did it for me more than usual. I was just like, I like these more. They're just more mysterious and interesting to me, I think, than the bangers.
Yeah, the arrangements are really tasteful.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like there was stuff on the Idols record that was cool, but they didn't have a handle on really how to like put those textures together in a way like Fontaines does. Like, and you know, Fontaines, like, it feels like Mystique and like that kind of thing is more built into their sound than a band like Idols, who made their bones being like, right, okay, fix the wage gap. You know, and then like you try to make a Radiohead album, and that's going to be a tougher thing.
Yeah, I mean, they did their album. Like, this album is, I think it has more of a theme than whatever the fuck that Tank did. Like, Tank was just like, this is our experimental album.
Yeah.
Like, this one, I think, judging by the title and the cover, Romance, they knew they were going to be sweet here and a little bit more sentimental and emotional, and put more into the balladry than just being like, let's copy Radiohead or Coldplay or something, like whatever the fuck we're doing.
11 songs, 37 minutes.
Also,
love that.
Beautiful.
Love that. God, Fontaines D.C. went up 10 notches.
Yeah.
Dude, when I opened it and it was 11:37, I was like,
so
boom.
good.
Oh, you see stuff like that.
That
and it's just
Zin
like,
hitting you.
and I'm just like,
Yeah.
Ew, I touched
Yeah,
both
we
of
almost
your
held
hands.
hands. We
I'm
almost
so
all held
gross.
hands there.
that
Can
Zin.
we do that for the thumbnail real quick?
Yeah. Yeah, there's
that's the
okay. That was
thumbnail.
felt even worse.
But anyways, thanks for watching. Yeah, let's wipe our fucking hands. Thanks for watching. Tell us what you thought of the album in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok, and you can listen to the audio-only episodes on Spotify. And you can subscribe on Patreon. We have bonus episodes coming probably like twice a month now, I think. And you can always watch our clips and things like that. People like doing that. It's I Quit My Band. It's Fontaines D.C. We'll see you next time. Bye.